So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self-Storage Show.
Hey everyone, this is Jim Ross in the Self-Storage Show. It's been a minute, but we're back recording some new episodes. Got a lot more content coming out here the next weeks and months coming up, so you're looking forward to it. But yeah, we're kind of starting off with a bang here. We got Frazier Robison with me today. How's it going, Frazier?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good. And maybe some people are like, who? But it's kind of funny how I'm always kind of keeping my eyes and ears to the ground on what's going on and who's in the storage business. And of all places, my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, just a couple days ago, what's it been, like 2 or 3 days ago, she's like, Dad, you gotta check this guy out. I'm like, what? She's like, someone's doing storage on TikTok. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, what? So she showed me, and I think you were doing some sort of like abandoned unit kind of a thing. Like, oh, look what people left, that kind of a thing. Like, all right, this is pretty cool. So that's how I found out about you. I reached out to you, and here we go.
Perfect. Yep. I've definitely been on TikTok for a little bit now, posting a lot of self-storage content there, and I really enjoy it. And it seems that other people have been enjoying it as well. So
yeah, it's kind of fun, especially when you kind of document the journey. I love that kind of stuff. It sounds like you're probably a Gary Vee fan, so me too.
yes, very much so. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that he's the reason I even started on TikTok. Anyways, he pushed it a lot. He's all social media, and he goes, TikTok's gonna huge. You should go on there. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And so that's what got me started.
No, and it's great because his whole model is document, don't create kind of a thing. And
Yep.
I went back to I like binged you on TikTok. I went back. I was kind of watching the journey a little bit in your storage journey. It's fun. It's a great way to get to know somebody. But for those that aren't don't have a phone and watch TikTok right now, I want to kind of just talk about it here on the podcast a little bit more about your journey. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got into the storage industry here.
That's a great question. So I'm a real estate agent as well. That's kind of a little bit about my background. Yeah. And at the time, and kind of where I pushed and focused a little more as a real estate agent, was helping investor clients, people that are looking for investment properties. It could be anything, residential or commercial. So I had a client of mine a couple years back, a few years back now, and she was looking for basically rental properties, apartments, anything that she could rent out that was, a good deal.
Yeah.
And so we looked at hundreds, and it wasn't until we started to come across some self-storage units, facilities. At the time, I didn't know anything really about the industry, just knew what a unit was.
Yeah.
So I mentioned to her, I said, are you interested in self-storage? That's kind of like you're renting something. So with that, we want to look. So we started to look at storage facilities a little more. Came across one in particular, and it ended up being the whole down payment was going to be pretty much what she had available for her HELOC and everything. So she didn't want to move forward with it in case she didn't have any money for expenses.
Sure.
So my brother is also a private money fund manager per se. Him and his partners, they own a private money fund. And so I sent it over to him, said, do you have any investors who would be interested in this property? As I've done with other properties before, when I think it's a good deal.
Yeah.
And so he messaged me back and he said, I'm interested in that. So I said, great. Okay, let's look into this. So we started moving forward with the process. He's too far away. And he said, I'm going to need someone to manage this. Would you be interested in that? So we worked out a deal where I'd have a portion of equity as well as manage the day-to-day of it all. And so we ended up buying it. Him and I partnered on that one, and then kind of went forward from there. So that's how we got started.
That's cool. That's if you can just get the foot in the door sometimes, and the thing you had to be able to see that there was potential with something like that. It's kind of funny. Sometimes the storage flies under the radar in a lot of places when it comes to invest things like that. But once you get a little taste of it and see, you're like, I'm all in. So,
right.
I can't tell you how many people have, done other like apartments or any kind of real estate, and they tried it for a storage property, and then they're like, all in. They start selling everything off. it's kind of funny how that happens when you start seeing how just operational wise, how it works and just the revenue, that's there to be taken.
Right.
Where you at?
So I'm looking in Washington State.
Okay. So yeah, if you're managing, you probably want to find something that's somewhat close, so you can keep an eye on it. It sounds like.
Yeah, we've done other things too before.
Yeah.
Basically, I'll manage a lot remotely. And so we just had a couple storage facilities down in Oregon, actually, and they were about 4.5 hour drive from me.
Oh, okay.
And we ended up selling those recently. But yeah, I managed them remotely, and I would have caretaker or part-time manager. They would live on site. We'd rent out the house as well to them, and then they would get a little bit of a paycheck
Yeah.
to help manage some of the day-to-day stuff, things that need to be, units need to be locked out, units need to be unlocked, cleaning garbage and that sort of thing. But yeah, we're able to manage things that are far away as well.
No, it's good. It's one thing when it comes to storage too. If you have the right systems in place, yeah, you can get away with that. You can manage it from remote, as much as possible. So that's cool. So I'm just curious, coming as a newbie, you've been in it for what, a couple of years? Sounds like.
About 2.5 years since we bought the first one. It was June of 2018. So
you're still a baby.
But, yeah, something like that.
But no, it's in those 2 years. I'm just kind of curious. Anything you've got into it now, you wish you would have known then that you know now after having a couple of years of experience under your belt.
Yeah, that's we've done a lot. I think in the past 2.5 years, we bought 5 storage facilities within less than a year of time. So from June 2018 to March 2019, we end up buying 5 storage facilities.
Nice.
So we still have 3 of them, and recently, after a year and a half, we sold 2 of them off, the ones down in Oregon. And so basically we've done lots of different managing things. I have managed it myself. We brought on a third-party management company, and then we've gone back recently to me owning and operating it, managing it myself again. So biggest things I've learned would be, that's a great question. I've learned a lot operationally. That would be the biggest takeaway from having the management company, seeing how they run it, having caretakers or assistant managers and seeing the pros and cons with those, how to better increase revenue, different strategies we can to push rentals and getting them rented out faster. So a lot of those along those lines. So I've learned a ton. I constantly am learning too. And especially even with TikTok, going back to that, when I post videos, there's things that I oversee or don't necessarily see the biggest benefit to it, or that it could be improved in this way. It's something I hadn't thought about before. And so people just making all their comments because they're opinionated, which is actually super helpful to me. So I'm grateful for it. I'll change things based upon comments because I realize that's a better way to do it. So that's another way I'm constantly learning.
Really? That's a good, you're crowdsourcing how to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cause like there was one video I remember watching. It was something like you were kind of running remotely, as much as possible, and renting the units and then emailing the contract, but then had like the locks on it to give them the code. I saw that was like earlier video, and then you kind of transitioned to, no, I'm going to put the tags on it. And you just, snap the tags off. I've seen it work both ways, and certain sites, but yeah, it's just the same kind of thing. You're learning as you're going along, and crowdsourcing the feedback. That's a great way to do it, actually.
It's interesting because
any comments on those videos? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I start to get more and more, as I continue to grow on there, I'll start to get, it's normal to get hundreds of comments now, depending on any given video. But it helps because you get people from all sorts of industries. You don't realize it when you're posting the video, you're going to reach so many people until you get going with it. And then you get people from all sorts of industries, and they'll tell you, don't cut that way. You should probably use a different tool. That's what this is called, or whatever. And they'll just share things about how it can be improved, and have you ever thought about doing this before, and whatnot. And so I kind of take it all in. Some of it people don't understand, the industry enough, and so that thing wouldn't actually work or be effective or good. But other times it goes, haven't thought about that. Great. And so just being able to reach out to so many people, all with just a post of a video, it's not calling up a million different comments and they just send in stuff. It's awesome.
Well, that's cool. I'm sure you get a lot of feedback when you're not afraid of getting your hands dirty. I'll give you credit for that. Doing all the all the maintenance and the conversions and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure you're getting a lot of feedback going, do this, do that. So yeah, when I saw that, I had to commend you. Make sure you take your hat off to you for getting your hands dirty like that. And a lot of people don't want to do that kind of portion of it, but a lot of times, yeah, if you're doing it yourself, you have no choice. You got to.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I don't think it's the fastest way to grow, but I'm kind of at another point in the past few months where I'm kind of resetting a little bit, building a better foundation, kind of building more of an in-house management type style. And ultimately, I'll kind of slowly get myself out of it and be kind of overseeing more of those things with people so we can continue to grow more at a better rate. So,
Yeah. But you're doing it the right way, actually, I think, as far as you got dirty, you're getting into it. Because that way you can make better decisions later on. Like if you do end up having someone else that's helping you for management and overseeing, the pitfalls and red flags and what to look for.
right,
So,
right.
and there's other people, the other side of the coin that just don't know anything and they hire like a third party manager company. I hate to say it, but sometimes the third party guys take advantage of them on their ignorance. They don't know how to oversee or what questions to ask or what red flags might be popping up. So no, that's to your benefit of really getting down and dirty that way, because now you know what to look for.
Yeah, it's been very beneficial.
No, that's great. What was this? I know that's how we communicated too. This community thing you're a part of. That's kind of cool with the text application.
Yeah, that's that would be another inspired Gary V social media type deal. Community, for everybody that doesn't know what that is community is a text platform. If you just search the word community in Google, it's going to pop up the TV show. So just Google community text platform, whatever. And essentially it's like a social media text thing where everybody that is receiving text is receiving it right to their phone. And you kind of have experience with receiving them from me. When I'm sending them, it just pops up like a regular text message to you. But on my side, if you're the one that has the community platform, I can access it from my phone or on desktop version, and I see it more as an app. And so I can see all the messages, but I can respond one-on-one to people as a text, or I can send out a group message, which you may have seen those here and there too from me, and I'll shoot it out to everybody, or I can shoot it out to select people. And it works a lot different than a group text messaging thing, because in a group text message, you've got, it says, all the numbers or the names, and it's max of like 10 people or whatever. But sure. It has a lot more capacity. And so on our side, if you have a community platform, you do pay a cost for it. There's a monthly cost for that. Yeah. But I take that in as, business cost, and I'm trying to grow that in a text way, and I see it being very beneficial. So it's been different to use that as well, and I've been doing that for just a few weeks. So
yeah, no, that's interesting. I saw that. I was like, I had to make sure we brought that up. So it's really, for this episode, I want to kind of introduce you to, say hi to everybody and my followers, because I love producing content and getting things out there. And you have a unique spin on it, as you've seen, kind of that document and, don't create, just document the process. I think it can be inspiring for a lot of people that are in storage. And I can knock my own industry because I've been a part of it for so long. We're behind the times a lot of ways, especially in marketing. I think of just there's so many avenues right now in marketing, and I think sometimes it's like the analysis paralysis kind of a thing. People just kind of overthink a lot of stuff, and kind of the way you're doing it, I think, can be beneficial to people just to see just go, just record and just kind of go with the flow of what's going on in your day-to-day operations for vendors or for storage managers at a storage site. I think there's a lot of people that can take things away from watching this. So go ahead and tell us where can people look you up, follow you, and get some inspiration.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So TikTok, I'm huge on there. And so that's my biggest focus, short form videos. If you're not familiar with what TikTok is, 15 to 60 second videos, but Frazier REI or FRAZIER REI. If you search that, that's my username on TikTok, as well as Frazier_Robison on Instagram and Frazier Robison on YouTube. And so you can find those, and that's where I'm at.
Cool. We'll put the links in the description too. And I can already hear it, even though it's just us right now. I can Maybe people listen to this going, TikTok isn't that like just a dance video? I can hear what you're saying. It's not. It is partly, but it's changing fast. Of
Yeah.
who's jumping on, what kind of content's on there. It's not just just dance videos. It's not. It's like I said, my daughter. That's how it works. My daughter introduced me to it. Now you got some 45-year-old, 44, 45 in 2 more days. Okay, 44-year-old.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Now I'm on it, and that's how it goes, and that's how it flows and changes. And so again, I want people to go check on just to get some inspiration of what you can do on these kind of platforms. So I think it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I think there's huge opportunity, especially if you have a business or you have something that you can teach a skill. It's really no different than what YouTube used to be. Everybody accepts YouTube as a very educational platform / entertainment platform, and that's very much so how TikTok is continually changing. If you're familiar with anything about an algorithm, it'll shoot you things that you want to see. So if you love DIY stuff and that sort of thing, or self-storage, then that's what it's going to shoot you on the platform. You don't have to watch little kids dancing if that's not what you're into, whatever it may be. So
that's great. Well, cool. I'll keep checking you out, man. We'll stay in touch. So thanks so much for being part of this, Frazier.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi everyone, this is Jim again. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to visit 3milestorage.com for more free resources on how to grow your self-storage business. See you on the next episode.